Now, is that totally mind-blowing or what? So what's up, people, and welcome to another amazing Warframe video. And I say amazing as an understatement because of this recent release of this gameplay trailer for the Plains of Eidolon. And recently, because of TennoCon, DE has been releasing quite a bit of information with regards to where the future of Warframe is going to be. And there has been a lot of interesting updates with regards to what's about to come out, including, of course, the much awaited Umbra frame. However, the one that really blew me away is this one, this gameplay trailer. And with this, you realize just how far Warframe has come and where it's going to go. This is amazing. This basically introduces a completely different gameplay from what we had up until now. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Warframe, it's a free-to-play, multiplayer, third-person shooter. And it's become so popular that it's one of the most played games now on the Steam market. The game basically started out as an early access free-to-play multiplayer game where the developers had a catchphrase, "Ninja plays free," and you basically played a space ninja that went around planets and shot a lot of things. Well, the basic premise hasn't changed, but what has made this game so popular from my perspective is the continued support and development by the developers on Digital Extremes and their commitment to actually make this into a really strong playing game. And I joined basically this game about 4 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, and I've watched how this game changed over the years. But this recent development is a major jump in the evolution of the game, and you could tell that it's going into a completely new area. So from what I can make of this new trailer, the new game style coming up with the Plains of Eidolon introduction is going to be a lot more open world, open sandbox sort of game. And so up till now, of course, you were mostly in your ship and of course went out to do your missions on specific maps. And then once you were finished with the mission, you went basically return back to your ship. Well, now from what it seems like, the world is expanding even more, and there's going to be a lot of areas where you can visit and basically interact with either the non-player characters or the other players in the game. Now, from what it sounds like, this isn't going to be just a map expansion, but basically a total expansion of all the gameplay, and everything from how you work with your pets to how you work with your resources to, of course, how you take on missions and battles is going to be expanded significantly. And one of the expansions that's going to come up is weapon modification, and so I'll let DE explain this part.
So in Warframe, you guys have been leveling weapons for years and applying from a set of hundreds of mods, but you never got to make your own weapon from parts. So the Ostron, at Hawk's Anvil, the Ostrons will be presenting a new component-based weapon system for the game. This is the beginning of this system that will have other manifestations. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Every aspect of this weapon, the strike, the hilt, the strike, the grip, all of these things affect not only the stance that you use when you're using the weapon, but the way it does crit, the damage types. And then there's the balance, which has special effects and that sort of thing. So Hawk's Anvil is going to be very interesting for you guys. The coolest part, which is very easy but very interesting, is you'll get to name your weapon for a change.
So I could totally see a bunch of very colorful names eventually coming out by the very creative people who play this game. So that will be kind of interesting to look forward to. Yeah. Now, aside from this, there seems to be a new way that you could actually get missions, and there may be a chance to actually increase the number of side quests for the game, as once again, Dee can explain right here.
Awesome. We've got a fellow here who, of course, has a problem that he needs a tenno to solve.
Ayo, that dude. Our desolation plant's kinetic motivator has failed. We have many in need of fresh water, need oots. If you would risk a journey across the plains, my clade will make it worth your while. This I swear.
Should I do it?
Tattoo boots, Tino. The Grenier have one such motivator at a camp I have marked for you. Borrow it for us, for the children.
So of course a lot of this is more reflective of role-playing games than it is of third-person shooter games, but I think this is a very interesting development where you're kind of getting kind of a RPG style of customization and open world capabilities along with the third-person shooter capabilities that was always prevalent in Warframe. Now, one thing I should say is this isn't, of course, me playing. This is the Rebecca that's playing in this trailer, and yeah, I think that's the Megan that's actually waving. But anyway, this trailer is available through YouTube, so I would suggest anybody who wants to take a look at this trailer to go see it directly. I'll leave a link to it in the description section of this video. In any case, the most important thing is, of course, the expanded world sandbox. And I think this whole introduction gameplay trailer shows a really good representation of where this game is going, and I have to admit I am totally blown away by what I saw when I got to this area. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. This is gorgeous. My gosh. I mean, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Skyrim. It reminds me of the wonderful plains of Skyrim, except now, instead of your Fusroda Dragonborn running around, you could have your Space Ninja Warframes running around. And can you imagine playing Skyrim with the parkour capabilities of your frame? That would be phenomenal. In any case, yeah, I mean, this really shows where Dee's going, and this really also gives me a good idea of just how far Dee has grown. I mean, to be able to make a game or basically this sort of expansion of this level complexity, you can't do it on an evolutionary scale. So this basically is a complete revolutionary change in the gameplay, which seems to indicate what I would think is that Dee actually had a whole separate team that was developing this, while the other developers were continuing to develop the game that exists now. So of course, with the recent quests that you have for Harrow, as well as the continued improvements in the weapons and the variety of weapons and the various changes that you continuously see in the game, that's going on, which seems to indicate that there is a team that's continuously supporting the existing game and making sure that the game is very enjoyable now, but you need a whole new team that can develop something of this magnitude. And this is what's very surprising and encourageable for me, because of the fact that I've been here watching this game grow to the point where now it's amazing, and you see these areas where I guess there's going to be remnants of sentience and ancient beings that are coming out, and the continuous development. There's probably, from what I hear, going to be maps and caves and missions that you can find while you're exploring. According to the developer, the terrain that you see in the background is not a backdrop, but it's actually places that you could actually travel, maps that you could actually go to. And so there's going to be supposedly, ancient maybe artifacts that you could explore. And here's an interesting one that the Rebecca's going to show, which is harpooning.
There's one, get it. Got it. Yeah!
So as you can see, there's going to be some various expansions and all these miscellaneous things that you can do in the game as well. And of course, they may not be significant things that you will do continuously, but they just do seem to add to the total ambiance of open sandbox sort of game. However, of course, this is Warframe and this is all about battle. And so here's a part that I thought was significantly important with regards to this upcoming gameplay.
Because we have a large landscape now, it doesn't mean that we want to kind of go slow and admire the daisies. We still feel that Warframe is a game about speed and high mobility. So, Rebecca, if you don't mind.
Oh my god. So now you're going to be able to play Archwing within your missions. That's phenomenal. Now one thing I wonder is if your Kavat or your Kubro's out, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to jump onto the wing with you. But I figure that's up to the developer to figure out. So that's pretty amazing, I have to admit. Being able to move straight from your kind of your running missions to your Archwing missions and back. I mean, we've had that, I guess, in Uranus a little bit in the underground areas, but not to this level. And so this is going to be quite interesting to see just how all of this is going to be put together. Now, I can imagine when this first releases that this is going to have like a zillion hotfixes. This has to. There's just going to be so many things that need to get fixed once it gets released that it's going to be amazing. And I think for the most part, I am hoping that the players understand that this is a big task for DE. And so, yeah, in the beginning, there may be a little bit of bugs in here and there, but overall, this effort is a phenomenal commitment, and I think that players should be happy regardless of what kind of bugs may initially come out in the game. With regards to that, that DE is going to fix it and it's going to come out looking pretty good. Now, one area that I did worry about a little bit is the fact that they did mention VIP players, which indicates that possibly there may be a difference between the map that you get for free to play versus the map that you may get for VIPs. Do you get additional areas which you can explore that you can't explore if you're free to play? I'm hoping that's not the case. I could understand if that is the case because of the fact that the game is changing, but that of course may be one aspect if they do go in that direction that may get some negative feedback from the players, even if it is understandable with regards to the amount of resources necessary to support a game of this level now. In any case, there's really no use speculating, and we're all just going to have to wait and see what's going to come up and just continue to check out the updates with regards to this game, or the evolution of this game. Anyway, I'm just gonna look forward to this change because so far everything that I see looks phenomenal. I'm hoping that this is yet another positive step in the continuing changes and history of Warframe. Okay, well, anyway, this is basically my thoughts with regards to the game. Oh, by the way, watch this. I'll keep on blabbing, but you keep on watching. This is pretty amazing. Anyway, these are my initial thoughts and discussions with regards to this recent release of the trailer for Plains of Eidolon. In any case, it's been a pleasure making this commentary for you. Isn't this thing amazing? Yeah, anyway, if you have any comments, please post them in the comments section below. We'll continue on making more Warframe commentaries and videos in the future. And until the next episode, we wish you all the best. Happy hunting. And as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.